Hi, value chain analysis. Value chain analysis is a process where a firm identifies its primary and supporting activities that add value to its final product, and then they analyze this activity to reduce costs and increase differentiation. So value chain represent the internal activities that transform inputs into outputs. So next, value stream. Value stream is a sequence of activities required to design, produce, and provide specific goods or services, and along with information, materials, and workflows. And lastly, value stream mapping. A value stream mapping is a lean management tool that helps the step needed to take from the product creation to deliver to its customer. These are the example of value chain analysis. So above me is Apple and next to me is McDonald's. So we start from Apple. As we can see here, Apple's VCA starts from sourcing and then to manufacturing, next to warehouse and distribution, and lastly return. So for McDonald's here, it starts from grower and then to processing, inbound transportation, distribution center, and lastly to outbound transportation. So both of these are very similar to Porter's VCA because they uses Porter's VCA as a standard. So this is the Porter's VCA. Value stream mapping. So value stream mapping uses a system of standard symbols to depict various work stream and information flows. The application of value stream mapping, also referred to as visualizing or mapping a process, isn't limited to assembly line. Value stream mapping requires a two-step process, which is firstly you draw the flow of your current supply map, known as value stream map, like above, and then you draw the improved and most efficient flow for your product or services, like below. That's all. Objective and competitive advantage. So firstly, objective. The objective of using VCA is to analyze competitive advantage by disintegrating an organization into discrete activities or processes and examine how each activities contribute to the organization's relative cost position or the customer's comparative willingness to pay. So the competitive advantage that we gain here is the ability for a firm to put generic strategy into practice. Generic strategy includes two: cost leadership and differentiation.
Well, thank you, Amir. My name is Nurpazila and I will present more about competitive advantage. Competitive advantage comes from one of two sources, which are differentiation and cost leadership. Differentiation is when a company produces a product or offer a service that perceived as unique in industry. This means that a company select attributes that buyers want, so that they can get a premium price in return. And another one is cost leadership. Cost leadership is when an organization having the lowest cost so that they can produce product with the lowest cost too. Let's move on to the next point. As you can see in the picture, that is a Porter generic strategist. Michael Porter is a professor at Harvard Business School. He said that a firm's success in strategy rests upon how it positions itself in respect to its environment. He also argued that a firm's strength ultimately falls into one of these two headings, which are cost advantage and differentiation advantage. By applying these strengths, the three generic strategies results in first, differentiation strategy. Second is cost leadership strategy, and another one is focus strategy. You can see from the picture that differentiation falls for McDonald's, focus falls for Pepsi, and another one, cost leadership, falls for Walmart. So now we have 5 key features of cost leadership, which is the first one is to identify the firm's primary and support activities. This means that all activities involved in producing products or rendering service should be clearly identified and be separated from each other. So next is to establish the relative importance of each activity in total cost of production. This means that the company should break down all the cost of production, and they have to figure which activity that is done inefficiently. Then the cost has to be addressed first. So the third one is to identify the cost driver for each activity. The managers can focus on improving the cost by understanding what factors drive the cost, and the cost will be different for each activities. For example, the labor cost, labor incentive cost, wages, and many more. The fourth one is to identify the link between each activities. This means that the managers also have to really understand the link between the activities, because if there is cost reduction in one activity, which is, for example, in inbound logistics, there will be possibility that the next activity will also will have the cost reduction. And the last one is to observe the opportunity for reducing cost for each activity. This means that if managers really understand what drive the cost and what is their inefficient activities, they can actually make some improvement, and there might be some reduction of cost in some activities. Next, we have key features for differentiation, and we have 3 key features for differentiation. First one is identify customers' value creating activities. In McDonald's itself, McDonald's have mix and match so that the customer will have more option to buy with lowest price. And the second one is evaluate the differentiation strategies. Nowadays, McDonald's have collaborated with secret recipes, so they create a differentiation where people comes to McDonald's will have their McDonald's and also will get their cakes from secret recipe. And the last one is identify the best sustainable differentiation. This is when McDonald's have produced a McCafe so that customers will walk in to get their burgers and also get their coffee. Now we have McDonald's for an example for cost leadership. It's actually that McDonald's have 2 generic strategy that they are practicing in the company, which is the primary strategy and then the secondary strategy. The primary strategy is cost leadership and the secondary strategy is differentiation. So it's actually that we can apply both strategy for McDonald's. For primary strategy, it is proof that McDonald's is produce a low cost food by minimizing its cost of production. Now we have Apple as an example for differentiation. Why Apple is different from others? Because Apple has its own operating system, which is iOS. This is not same with Huawei, Samsung, Nokia, and others. And it is also shared with iPhone, MacBook, iPod, so that they have created the uniqueness for their brand, and that's why it is a unique product and they are selling with a premium price. So I think that's all from me. I will pass to Azhar for the primary activities.
Thank you, Nur Fazila. So right now, my name is Azhar, and I'm going to explain about the primary activities of the VCA, which are inbound logistics, operation, the outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and also services. So let's get to it. Now, the first thing is the inbound logistics, which are associated with the range of activities such as receiving, storing, distributing input of the product. Okay, these activities includes material handling and also warehouse. You have inventory control and also transportation inwards, let's say from our supplier to our warehouse. And also, what are the factors that what we call play a role in this inbound logistics, which is of course the location of distribution facilities to minimizing shipping times. Let's say from Ipoh to KL would take much shorter times rather than let's say from Alostar to KL. And also the warehouse design and layout to increase the efficiency of operation of incoming material. such as you have materials that are heavier nearer to the exit, and materials that are lighter in weight, maybe perhaps for distance. So it may be ease of carriage between the heavy materials and the lighter materials. Okay, so next one is operation. What is operation? Operation is actually a procedure of converting a raw material to a finished product, or maybe some companies do service. Okay, this includes changing all the inputs, let's say for the raw materials, into an output, which is our goods and services, perhaps. So the factors that really what we call effect in give an effect in operation are efficient plant operation to minimize cost. So let's say we talk about McDonald's, right? So have you seen the layout kitchen of McDonald's? All layouts are built so that they have a fast workspace to serve food fast to their customer. And the next one is efficient plan layout and workflow design. Yes, exactly like I just said. And then also incorporation of appropriate process technology, meaning that so right now we don't have let's say take orders by hands anymore, like manually. So now we have a robot. We can go to a kiosk and just tap and we get our orders right away. So that is what factors that somehow give this operation a nice flow and also give its efficiency and effectiveness. Third point, urban logistics. Urban logistics is all activities that distribute a final product to consumer. This includes the delivery of a product, which includes storage and distribution system, which can be external or internal. So let's give this a factor. What factor that affect outbound logistics? So effective shipping process. Effective shipping process is of what to provide goods, to provide a quick delivery and minimize damages. Let's say for the McDonald's delivery, so they use what we call a bag, a rectangle bag, the Foodpanda bag and so on. So in that bag, they keep the food warm or cold, okay, which will not compromise the quality of the final product. Let's say our burger, perhaps. And the next thing is the shipping of goods in large number to minimize cost. So let's say we have this one warehouse of McDonald's in Subang Jaya, if I'm not mistaken. So they use one huge lorry container. So they will distribute all the McDonald's outlet in Shah Alam and also in Subang Jaya in one go. So that will reduce cost, meaning that they don't have to give like 2, 3, 4 lorries at one time, which also going to exponentially will cost a huge amount of money, for diesel and whatnot. Our fourth point, the next point is the marketing and sales. What is marketing and sales? It refers to all activities that help convince a consumer to purchase our product or service. Okay? How do we do that? By enhance visibility and target appropriate customers. Let's say McDonald's, who they target, basically hungry people like us. So it is not weird that every time we open it, the marketing ads for McDonald's, like ayam goreng McD. And also the factors that contribute to marketing and sales are proper identification of customer segment and needs. So people don't go to McDonald's to buy clothes. They went to McDonald's to eat. So what they put on their ads, on their marketing and sales. And the next point is innovative approach to promotion and advertising. So if you remember this marketing ads of McDonald's, 2 cones of ice cream and fries to represent the Petronas Twin Tower. That's one of marketing strategy to attract people to McDonald's. And last but not least, service includes all activity to maintain the products and enhance consumer experience, which includes customer service, maintain, repair, refund, and also exchange. So the factors that affect the service are a quick response to customer needs and emergencies. Let's say for McDonald's, quick response to customer needs would be like the orders are quick, the payment are quick. It's just it's like that. Okay, and the orders are received quite fast. And the next thing is the quality of service personnel and ongoing training. I'm not sure about McDonald's. However, I can give an example. For example, Starbucks. For Starbucks employees, they are needed to they need to go to training about 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, to on how to prepare drinks, so that they did not what we call compromise their service to customers. The next point, Sobri.
Okay, hello everyone. After every primary activities of McDonald's we have known just now, now you will hear about the supporting activities. Okay, let's go. There are 4 supporting activities of McDonald's, which is procurement, technology development, human resource management, and also firm infrastructure. Now let's go one by one. First, procurement. McDonald's e-procurement system is basically a main reason for their successful supply chain management. It is so efficient that it provides the backbone not only to all the logistics but the whole McDonald's supply chain management. Aside from being faster and more convenient for franchise, the procurement side also allows business owners to buy supplies and materials at a discounted price, ultimately reducing costs for McDonald's. The procurement functions is purchasing inputs used in the firm's value chain. Purchasing inputs include raw materials, suppliers, and other consumable assets, items such as machinery, building, equipment, and etc. There are a few factors to be considered, which are procurement of raw material inputs, relationship with suppliers, and also alternative source of input. Second one is technology development. McDonald's will focus on modernizing restaurants, evolving the menu, and engineering value. Technology development related to the product and its features supports the entire value chain. The formation of technology is from technologies used to prepare documents until to those include in process and equipment. The factors are effective R&D process, professional qualification of personnel, and data analytics. Next, we go to human resource management. The work offered by McDonald's may have some positive elements, but workers are often choosing employment at McDonald's in the context of having few other attractive options. Working at McDonald's could be said to offer advantages for some employees who want flexible hours and are engaged in other activities and responsibilities. Human resource management activities involve in recruiting, hiring, training, development, and compensation of all types of personnel. Human resource management also supports both individual primary and support activities. The factors to be considered: effective recruiting, quality relationship, reward, and incentive program. Next is the firm infrastructure. McDonald's infrastructure is modern and sophisticated. They're using the advanced IT, and yet they are still maintaining the green activities. Firm infrastructure supports entire value chain, includes management, planning, finance, accounting, legal and government affairs, quality management, and information system. The factors to be considered in firm infrastructure are effective planning systems, excellent relationship, and effective information technology.
Usefulness of value chain analysis. There are 3 things that we can gain from using value chain analysis. Firstly is flexibility. Second, we can create competitive advantage. And third is better understanding. From flexibility, value chain analysis is very flexible strategy tools for looking at the business, company's competitors, and the respective places in the industry's value systems. So next, create competitive advantage. It can be used to diagnose and create competitive advantage on both cost leadership, having the lowest cost of operation industry, and differentiation, which is providing some kind of unique value for particular customer. And lastly, the better understanding. Value chain analysis assists you to understand an organization's strengths and weaknesses that to be included in the SWOT analysis, comparing an organization business model with its competitors. Lastly, limitation of value chain analysis. First, we can see heavily oriented. Second, intimidating in scope and scale. Third, difficult to set information. Why it is heavily oriented? Because the format of value chain analysis in Porter's book Competitive Advantage said it is heavily oriented to manufacturing business, and the language can be off-putting for other type of business. It is clearly stated that value chain analysis is more linked to manufacture business type only. So next, intimidating in scope and scale. So because it can take a lot of work to finish a full chain analysis for a company and for its competitor, so that we can identify and understand the key difference and strategy drivers. Lastly, difficult to set information. Business information system are often not structured, so it would be difficult to get information for value chain analysis. So that's all from us. Thank you, and we will see you again. Bye.